Hi friends, welcome back or welcome to the channel. If you're joining us for the first time, I'm T and this is my YouTube channel, Tea and Sewing. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about the Montana dress by Style Arc. This is a pattern that I sewed for Minerva. So I am a Minerva brand ambassador, and Minerva send me fabrics and I sew with them and I create reviews and all that good stuff. I'll go ahead and put my link in the description box below to the Minerva site, and you can see all of the makes that I have made with Minerva. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the kit that was sponsored to me. So they sent me this kit of this beautiful herbal fabric, and I forget the entire title of the name. So I'll go ahead and put it in the description box below, but it's a beautiful fabric. And they sent me 4 yards in this kit with also buttons, elastic, needles, everything that I needed to make the garment. And so the Style Arc Montana dress was also part of this kit. And I was able to get the extension pack. And so with this pack, it includes different bodice. So with the Montana dress, the regular Montana dress is just a bodice that has a round neckline and a gathered skirt and pockets for the skirt. With the extension pack, you get 3 additional front bodice pieces that are different from one another. And so one of those bodice pieces is a dome sleeve with buttons going down the center front. There's a different bodice that has like an opening, like you sew the 2 front bodice pieces together. So the bodice front is cut out twice and it has a seam in the front, and it has like an opening up at the neckline, kind of like a V opening at the neckline, and you have a stand-up band as well as a frill around the neckline, which is really cute, and I hope to make that one someday soon. And then there's also a variation where there's a V neckline, and inside of the garment, you have a front facing that extends all the way down the length of the entire front bodice. And then you do top stitching around that that facing, and you have top stitching detail going around the neckline. Now I did that variation. However, I didn't do the top stitching going around the neckline. So I'll be talking about that variation and what I did for that variation, and I'll put an image here so you can see clearly what that variation looks like. Now each one of these have different sleeve variations. With the variation that I did, which I believe is view B, it has a long sleeve and elastic in the end of the sleeve. I omitted the elastic at the end of the sleeve. So mine's just have kind of like a little bit of a flare to it. And then also the skirt for the garment, it's the same skirt pattern for all views. And you're supposed to have gathering going around the front and the back, the entire waistline. So I have found that with the skirt, it doesn't have enough gathers in the front of the skirt so that you can actually see those gathers. And so my skirt, you'll see, you don't really see gathers in the front because I don't know, the design just did not have a lot of gathers in the front. And so I just put all the gathers in the back. So anyway, that's basically how the design is for this. And then the fabric that I use, again, it's this Minerva sponsored fabric. Now the top that I'm wearing right now, this is not the actual the garment that I'm talking about. I had some fabric left over, and so I was able to make the Friday Pattern Company Sororo top. And so you'll be seeing, if you haven't seen already, a review of that. And so stay tuned for the review of that, and I'll talk more in detail about that. But that's the top that you see me wearing, so it's not the dress. So I'll put images throughout the video of the dress, and also a video as well, so that you can see how the garment drapes on me, how it looks, and you can see the entire design of the fabric as well. So the fabric is a rayon challis fabric, a rayon viscose fabric, and I believe it comes on a 59 wide inch fabric. It's somewhere in the 50s. And so it's really wide fabric, which is really wonderful because you get to take advantage of that width. And it is a fabric that has earth tones in it, which is really gorgeous. So I love the earth tones in this. I usually don't gravitate towards tans, browns, greens, you know, those types of earthy colors, but I absolutely love this fabric. I love it so much so that I think I'm going to go and order some more of it. It's just such a beautiful fabric. Like I said, it has navy blue. You have some earthy green colors. You have tan and like variations of tans. You have like a really light beige looking tan and almost like a brown tan, and just so many different earth tones in this. I think it's really gorgeous. And you do have these really big leaves. So the green color in the fabric are leaves. And so I really like that about the fabric. Now I will say this, going into the project, I wasn't aware at first that this is a one directional print. Like at first glance, it doesn't look like it's a one directional print because it's a large scale print. However, it is. So if you look at the little, I think they're palm leaves or whatever they are, they go in one direction. And so you want to make sure that you pay attention to your fabric because it is one directional. And I'm really glad that I actually took a second look at it before I actually cut out any pattern pieces. So again, one directional. So overall, I think that this dress turned out really lovely. It has a V neckline on it. Like I said, I wasn't able to get any of the gathers in the front of the garment. I put all the gathers in the back of the garment. And because it was really loose, I went back later on and I actually put elastic in it as well. Although the silhouette of this dress is supposed to be like really loose and kind of like a muumuu style garment, like I said, I went back and I put elastic in it just to cinch it in a little bit. It's just more of my taste. And you're supposed to sew the garment as it's directed on the actual cover of the envelope, and I did. But later on, I went back and I just went ahead and I cinched in the back just to give myself, like I said, a little bit more of a closer fit there. Also, the dress has pockets. And so I really like that about the pockets or the dress. It has pockets. You have different skirt lengths as well. You can do a maxi or a midi length or knee length or anything like that. And I really like that about the pattern as well. So I decided to go ahead and do kind of like in between like a knee length and a midi length. And yeah, so that's what I did for my dress. And I had so much fabric left over. They sent me 4 yards of fabric, and it doesn't call for 4 yards of fabric. I don't know exactly what they thought I was going to do with a lot of that fabric. So yeah, they sent me so much fabric, and because it's on such a wide fabric, I was able to take advantage of that. And like I said, I made this beautiful top here, and I had a little bit fabric left over. And I haven't made a bottom with it yet, but I'm thinking about making a skirt with it. I don't have enough to quite do the saguaro pants, and so I'll just make a skirt or something like that, or maybe some culottes or some shorts or something to go with this top. But anyway, I really loved the way that all these garments sewed up. I really liked the fabric. I really liked the pattern. The pattern was actually really easy to sew. I didn't have any hiccups or anything like that. Like I said, besides the gathering in the front of the bodice there, other than that, everything else sewed up really well. It was really easy to sew, and it's such a fun pattern as well. So I would like to make the bodice that have the collar band and the frill necks, and so I think I might make that one for summer. So you should probably stay on the lookout for that. In terms of the features of the pattern, I went on and I didn't tell you much about the features of the pattern. Now, the pattern comes in sizes 4 to 30. And I do also want to say that in terms of the features of the pattern, you have your back pattern piece, your front pattern piece, your skirt front and back. So you have one skirt piece, and that's going to be the front and the back. And then you have your pocket piece. So I think you have it about 7 pieces because you have the back facing as well as the front facing as well. So you don't have a whole lot of pieces. You also have the sleeve as well. And then also if you do the long sleeve that has the little flounce on the end, you'll have another piece there because you have the flounce that you're attaching to that sleeve. So I didn't have to do hardly any changes to my pattern. The only thing that I did was I did a 2-inch bicep adjustment so that so I can have more room in my sleeve. And then I also lengthened the bodice by 1/2 inch because I found that the bodice was a little bit too short. I didn't have to raise the neckline or anything like that. Usually I raise the neckline quite a bit on V necklines, but on this one I did not have to do any of that. So it was really straightforward and easy to sew, like I said. And all I did was I did a double hem for the sleeve, and also for the skirt I did a double rolled hem. So that is my experience for the Montana dress, and this was my first time doing a Minerva kit, which was really fun. I think I will try another one. It was a really nice change, you know, having just, you don't really have a whole lot in the way in terms of like what you're picking because it comes in a kit. And so I wanted something that was going to be challenging for me. Like I said, in terms of like the color scheme inside of a fabric or the type of fabric, I wanted to try to challenge myself and sew something different. And so even though I'm not new to rayon or viscose fabrics, like I said, big scale prints and also earthy tones is not my thing. And so I wanted to choose a kit to kind of get me out and away from things that I would normally choose, just to give myself the opportunity to see what other things might look like on me. So anyway, I was really happy with the end product, and I am excited to probably purchase more of this fabric because I did enjoy it, and I think I want to make a pair of trousers to go with this top here. So anyway, that is my review today, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. If you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing. If you found today's content or any of my content on this channel enjoyable, I hope to talk to you all in the next video. And until then, stay creative, my friends. Bye.